Hey everybody, I'm Tom Dorsey, President of Dorsey Wright & Associates. It's the 20th of December, 2012. Today I wanted to take a moment and talk about the end of the world tomorrow. And this has to do with the Mayan calendar, the end of the Mayan calendar. I went back to the book Predictions, written by Theodore Modis, who's a good friend of mine, and I've been in contact with him today about this. And it's kind of interesting what happens with the Middle American Indians back then, the Aztecs and the Mayans. And what happened was that the Mayans had a calendar, two calendars that ran concurrently. One was 260-day calendar, and one was the normal 365-day calendar that we use. There's a common number that can be divided into both of them, and it's 18,980 as the common number. What that turns out to be is 52 years. And what this is a 52-year cycle that's coming to due tomorrow. What happens is it's called the tying up of events. What the Mayans and the Aztecs and the Middle American Indians used to do at the end of a 50-year cycle, 52-year cycle, they would in essence forgive all of their debts, they would break all of their pottery, they would give away their clothes, and in essence they would start totally from scratch. What the Aztecs did, who were part of the group too, is they would have a renewal of the fire rites. Renewal of the fire rites really meant was a ritual that was performed at this point in time after 52 years in the expectation that if they perform these fire rites, the next day the sun will rise. So it's not a bad concept, I think. You know, what they're saying is at the end of 52 years, we're ready for a new start. It's the end of a wave. We're going to start with nothing again, and we're going to make things happen from there on forward. We're giving up all of our debts. We're forgiving everything. We're giving away everything that we have in our personal possessions. We'll do the fire ritual, which will ensure the sun will rise tomorrow, and everything's going to be fine. So I would expect what the Mayans and the Middle American Indians were saying about this period in time is that it's a renewal. It's not the end. That when the day after tomorrow comes, it's going to be the beginning of a new era. And I almost believe the same thing. Not that I follow the Mayan calendar or anything like that, but I feel the same thing. I feel that we've gone through what I have seen called the Great Moderation from 1975, when I was first a stockbroker, through to 2007. Things were pretty easy then. You just had to be long the market in general, and you did very well. 401ks did extremely well. People retired with lots of money. But 2007 came along, and that was the end of the Great Moderation, and we moved into a new period. A new period where the Western world has begun its decline. When you look at the S-curves on the general GDP of Western worlds from the United States on, most of the Western worlds have experienced pretty much the whole S-curve in their GDP, and I would expect in the United States to see GDP begin to decline, and that's going to happen. That's going to continue for years. The real play here, and I think the renewal, is in the emerging markets. These emerging markets are on their way to becoming developing. And from there, you're finding also the frontier markets that will eventually become emerging. Countries like Botswana in Africa, the whole African state, I think will come on strong. So we're in a period that I look at as renewal, that we need to look to the Far East, we need to look to Latin America, we need to look to Eastern Europe for the opportunities for growth going forward. And this is going to be a new change. I feel it. And I think DWA is prepared for it, and I think you need to prepare for it in your portfolios. But the day after tomorrow is not the end. It's going to be the renewal. So we'll talk to you next week.